Hello my lovely, and welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Shelby Charlin, the founder of A Touch of Clarity, which is a wellness center here in Adelaide Hills. I am so excited to bring you along to a few days in the life of a holistic therapist and healer, as I have some very exciting few days here at A Touch of Clarity, and I thought, why not start vlogging this experience, because one of the main things that I am requested by you guys on Instagram and over on YouTube is to do more behind the scenes of what it's like to run a holistic and spiritual based business, and also to know more about me as the human behind the business. So I am very excited to bring you along. Today is currently Monday morning. It is a nice early start here for me. It is actually a public holiday in South Australia, but the grind never ends, so I decided to open up the centre today and have some beautiful sessions and appointments for the business. So kicking off the morning with a beautiful 9 a.m. client online, where we will be focusing on her business and mindset, and I'll be giving her coaching in that space. And then I have one of my absolute best friends who is also a business owner coming up, and we're going to do a co-working day together, which I'm so excited about, because this week we kick off Creative for the Soul, which is my 10-week manifestation and self-development course. So there's a lot to do in preparation for that, and so I'm really excited to co-work with somebody, because when it is a public holiday and you are stuck working and watching everybody on the gram going to the beach and having drinks, it can feel a little bit sad. But having somebody who is in the same space and in the same period in their life where we're on the grind and we're hustling and we're getting stuff done for our business, it's really nice and refreshing to have that energy in this space. So welcome my lovely. As always, please subscribe, follow me over on Instagram, check out my podcast, and let's get into a few days in my life as a holistic therapist and business owner. Let's go. So I just got off of a one-on-one business coaching call, and it was honestly so incredible. We covered so much ground, from imposter syndrome, from how her wounds as a person behind the business has been showing up in her business. We looked at habit stacking and also creating a meeting for her money, as well as a mindset meeting with her business partner, and just so many other things. You would not think that we covered that much within what was supposed to be a 60-minute session, ended up being closer to 90, but it was honestly amazing. And I absolutely love that I am starting to have business coaching clients now, because it wasn't really something that I opened the business to do, but it's something that has naturally evolved. And every single call that I have with my business and mindset coaching clients, I just get up and I just feel so hyped and so ready to smash the day, and it just makes me so excited for the evolution of my business. But now I'm going to quickly make a coffee and prep for my meeting with my creative assistant, and then my co-working day with my beautiful bestie Kirsten. Hi! morning, my lovelies. It is Tuesday around about 8 a.m. I'm so excited because I have the welcome call for my course created for the soul today, and I've just spent the morning just getting myself ready, getting into the energy of holding space and opening this container. And this is my second time running this course, so I'm just so excited to see and feel the energy of the women in this group. Round one was honestly incredible. It was obviously the first time that I ran this course, so you never know like what's going to happen or the response to what you've created, but honestly the results from round one were just incredible. These women literally connected so deeply with themselves and with the life that they're wanting to create, and they all had such incredible results, which as a creator and as a business owner and a service provider, it was just absolutely amazing to create something that was able to literally change people's lives. And so I'm just so excited to have a whole new fresh group of women that have invested in themselves and trusted me to guide them through this journey. And today we kick off by having our welcome call, and I just feel so high vibe about it. And I have a really exciting day, hence why I'm working from home. So we have the welcome call this morning, and then I have some admin stuff to do. So sending out some contracts for my new business clients, which is very exciting. If you have followed me on Instagram for a while, you know that towards the end of last year, I opened up a new avenue in my business, which was focused around business and mindset coaching. So prior to that, my wellness center focused around holistic therapy, so mixing traditional therapy of psychology and talk therapy with the more holistic side of things, so Reiki, breathwork, EFT, hypnotherapy, all of those beautiful modalities. And naturally, through the evolution of my business and the different type of clients that I was meeting, a lot of them were requesting business and mindset coaching. And so for a while I was just doing it through the lens of a touch of clarity, but it got a little bit messy when people were trying to book in and the topic of each session and things like that. So I decided to trust what people were wanting and trust that I had the skills and knowledge to be able to offer this service, and then transitioned into business and mindset coaching as a whole new type of avenue within the business, which I've been doing now for about 4 months, and it's been incredible. The women that I'm working with in this space, they're amazing. Their businesses are amazing, or their vision for their business is absolutely incredible. So it's been really cool. And then this afternoon I am so excited because I've actually booked in to see a psychic. So I haven't seen a psychic since, I would say, 2019 or 2020. It was just as COVID hit. I saw them just before going on my Bali holiday, which if you've listened to my podcast, you would know the background and the relevance of that story and how that literally created where I am today. But that's a story for another day on this channel. But I haven't seen a psychic in a really long time, so I'm really excited, and this incredible psychic was recommended to me. So I love visiting not only small businesses or entrepreneurs in Adelaide or South Australia to support local working businesses and entrepreneurs, but also when it's like word of mouth, because you just know that that person's going to be amazing because somebody's recommended them to you. So I'm really excited to be doing that this afternoon, and hopefully if it goes well, I will share some more about that with you guys later this afternoon. But if you've seen this type of practitioner before, you know that you can leave feeling quite raw and vulnerable. So we'll see how we go as to how much I share with you guys. But my main motivation for booking in to seeing this person is because I've been going through a huge transition in my life. Again, if you listen to the podcast, then you're probably already across what I am talking about. So if you want more in-depth explanation, definitely check out season 3, episode 1, because I really get raw and vulnerable and share a lot in that space. But essentially, I made the decision to end my almost 5-year relationship in December, and through that process I also had to move and go through some really big changes in my life. And so for the last 3 or 4 months I've just been navigating a lot of change, and change is so beautiful and so powerful, but it doesn't take away how incredibly hard and emotional change can be. And for me, I know that this is all what I'm meant to be doing and where I'm meant to be heading, and I have so much faith in the universe and my guides, and continuously get so many signs that I'm on the right path and made the right decision. But it's been a lot harder than I probably anticipated or acknowledged, and I just want somebody to give me a little bit more of a direction, or a little bit more of, I guess, clarification. I feel like in my gut I already know the answers to most of my questions that I'm going to ask her, but I just feel like it's nice to have somebody external validate the things that you're already feeling. And I just feel like I want to spend the next few weeks at least, or months, really prioritizing focusing on myself and my health and well-being, and not putting my energy outwards, keeping my energy inwards and giving it back to myself. So there's a lot to unpack in that, and I'm sure that I will share more throughout this vlog and more throughout my channel especially, but for right now that's just where I'm at.
2 hours later.
Okay, it is officially almost 2 p.m. in the afternoon, but I ended up going and getting my nails done. So check them out, loving the new claws. But yeah, ended up going and getting my nails done with my mama, which was so nice. It's so nice to spend some one-on-one time with her, especially when it's spontaneous. But it's so funny because one of the main reasons why I opened the business is to, first of all, help people. Like, that's my #1 mission statement. I feel like so many of us are caged by our previous experiences and trauma, and I hate that. And I think back to my experiences and trauma and who I would be if I didn't have the mentors and the tools to lean on to change my entire life. But that's a whole tangent for another day. But my second motivation for myself was that I wanted more freedom in my day-to-day. I hate being glued to a desk, and I noticed more recently that that's what I've been doing. I have been so focused on amplifying and upgrading the business, which I love that side of me and I love that I'm committed to that. But I have kind of forgotten why I wanted to be my own boss. And so I wanted to get my nails done in the middle of the day. Had this annoying voice in my head that was like, you can't do that today, like we've got so much to do. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna go and get my nails done, spend some quality time with one of my favorite humans, and feel fresh as with these beautiful nails, which I now do, and I can head into the afternoon just feeling really good, you know. So I actually went and did that and then had to rush back, and I was here with 3 minutes to spare for my mentor call. So I'm currently going into a new group program for my own business development, which I am so excited about. And so we had the call this afternoon, the first call to open up that space as well. So it was really nice this morning, me being the facilitator of a training, to then this afternoon receiving somebody else holding space, and the topic and teachings within that call today have just been amazing, and they've actually left me feeling like really motivated and excited to implement some of this stuff into the business. So I have about an hour now before going to my psychic appointment, which I cannot wait for, if I'm being completely honest. So I have a little bit of admin that I need to do, and then I'm going to just spend like 15-20 minutes just getting into my zone and my energy and figuring out like what is the guidance that I actually want from this person, and what is the support that I'm needing right now, so that I can go in with such a clear energy and be like an open book. Because I know, being a healer, that people, like I have some clients who walk in the door and straight away I can read their energy and their guides come straight through, and they're so open and it makes your life so much easier. Whereas I've got other clients that their guides and messages and guidance only comes through like the last 10 minutes of their session, because they have like this energetic wall up. So I know the importance of going into a space completely open and ready to be read. So that is what I'm going to do for the rest of the afternoon. And then I have to reply to some of my Voxer clients. So Voxer is a voice note and texting app which I offer to all of my mentorship clients, whether that's through a Touch of Clarity and self-development or through the business and mindset coaching. So I have a few messages that have come through when I was getting my nails done. So I'm going to spend the afternoon getting into the right frequency, doing a few little admin-y, client-y things, and then this evening, dependent on how I feel and how that session goes, and then get ready for a full-on day tomorrow. Good morning. Oh my goodness, it has been one of those days already, and it is like not even 9:30 yet. I haven't really updated you guys since my appointment yesterday, have I? So yesterday was a very emotional afternoon, and I don't think I'm yet ready to talk about what was shared in my session yesterday. It might be something that I share in a future vlog or in a podcast episode, but for right now I'm kind of integrating and marinating on what was shared, and yeah, I think I'm a little bit still kerfuffled in my mind as to what that information means. And I think sometimes when you get readings from psychics or you get energy work done, it's not really readily spoken about how draining it can feel. Like I left there with like the biggest headache, nothing to do with the practitioner at all. It was like just a lot of information and a lot of bringing suppressed emotions and feelings to the surface, and sometimes that can be so draining. And I share that with my clients as well. It's like sometimes you have to feel worse in order to feel better, and I definitely think that that's kind of the space I was at yesterday. I was feeling very raw and vulnerable after my session, so I'm just going to leave that, process it for the next couple of days, and then potentially share with you guys or just keep it for myself. I think it's hard when you want to share so much with your community, especially when you're doing vlogs, and it can be hard when you're new to this space knowing what to share and what to keep back for yourself. But at the moment, I think the information provided in that session, I'm just going to keep to myself until it maybe plays out, and then I can share it with you guys. But this morning, late last night, made the decision to set my alarm 30 minutes later just because of all what I was feeling. I was just holding on to a lot yesterday, and I felt like I just needed to kind of sleep and recharge my batteries. But boy, does 30 minutes make a huge difference in the morning. I just felt like this morning I caught myself like rushing and feeling late and feeling panicked, and I had to actually like check myself and be like, no, that's not the point of having an alarm set 30 minutes later. Like, the whole reason was to feel recharged and regenerated, and by you rushing around and putting pressure on yourself, it's not actually going to be that nice refreshing feeling, which is why you set your alarm later. So I had to catch myself in that. And I think as well, that's something that people often don't realize, is that it's a practice of leaning out and maybe leaning into old patterns, old ways of being. And it's not about just being like, oh, all the work that I've been doing lately has gone to waste because I'm reacting the way that I'm trying not to. So like it's all gone to shit. It's about being like, oh, okay, I've reverted back to an old pattern, an old way of being. I'm going to come back into alignment and come back into being that newer, more centered, more aware version of me. And I think that's where people mess up, for lack of a better term, with self-development, because they've done so much work and then they'll revert back to their old patterns for like a split second, and then they stay in that energy and in that space, whereas they're supposed to remember to come back and use a circuit breaker, use tools to come back to center. And so this morning I had to catch myself with this internal dialogue of, you're being unproductive and we're running late to work and this and this and that. And it was so interesting when I did catch myself, and I was like, it's okay if we show up to work a little bit later. I actually don't have clients today, so I have the freedom and the space to utilize today in any way that I feel. And don't get me wrong, I've got so much to do, but if it doesn't get done today, the business isn't going to go under. And I think sometimes as business owners, we forget that. It's like you can take a morning to recharge your batteries, which will actually be more beneficial than if you went straight into your day like rushed and tired and exhausted and emotional. So yeah, it's really interesting when you catch yourself. Like this morning, I was like, no, I have to leave home at 7 in order to be at work for 7:30. And then I was like, who says? Like, who actually made that be my hours? Yes, if I've got a client, of course I will honor that. But when I don't have a client, like, why do I need to be there so early? So it was very interesting. I feel like I had this constant back and forth, push and pull within myself this morning of like, chill girl, like it's all gonna be okay, it's all gonna get done. And I've had a pretty busy week so far this week. There's lots that I didn't vlog to do with the business behind the scenes, but there's lots of wheels turning and lots of change. And I've actually been going through a huge period of my life with change. I ended a 5-year relationship. I moved home. My situation changed rapidly. And then obviously running a business, there's so much change each and every day, so much ebb and flow. And so I feel like within my life at the moment, there hasn't really been one consistent thing that hasn't changed. All different avenues of my life have experienced some version of change. And it's been very confronting and very unsettling. And I've noticed myself trying to grasp onto things that are familiar that aren't necessarily good for me. And so yesterday after my session, I kind of took some time to be like, oh, okay, we're going to not do this anymore. Oh, okay, we're going to not connect with that person anymore. Oh, we're going to pull back in our energy and focus on us. And a huge takeaway from that session, and also what I've been feeling the last few weeks, is that I need to get comfortable in this uncomfortable feeling, in this uncomfortable stage or period of my life at the moment, and be okay with that, and stop comparing myself to people around me, or stop comparing myself to the social norm, I think is more of what it is. Like, I think sometimes when I tell people certain things, because of where I thought I would be in life by now at the age of 26 is so different. But when I was little, I actually didn't see myself running my own business. So things are different, if you know what I mean. And I've noticed myself feeling all of this internal, like, ugh, when I tell people certain things about my life at the moment. And I just keep coming back to this place of reminding myself that who said that your life has to be like this? Like, who said that you have to be married and have kids and have the house and the dog and the career and everything by 25, 30, whatever? Like, that is such a socially constructed norm, and I don't want to play into that. And that's partly why I started my own business, was to teach women especially that they don't need to be bound by societal norms and think they have to sacrifice their career in order to be a mother, or sacrifice motherhood in order to be an entrepreneur, as well as lots of other things, and that we don't need to show up in this way because that's what society tells us to. So I've been having a lot of internal dialogue this morning, and sometimes that can make you feel a type of way when you're so in your head and not so much in your body. And then I already got to work late, or later than I normally did, so I had this feeling of like, and then I get here, and the perks of living in Australia and having a wellness centre up in the hills, up in the trees, and it being like 30 to 40 degrees consistently for like 6 days. I walk in and I have 2 geckos in the centre. And this is, I'm not kidding, the 5th gecko that I have seen this week. So if you know me, you know that I don't think anything is like a coincidence or by chance. I think that everything has a meaning, and seeing something repetitively for me is like the sign that there's some meaning behind it. So if I see like somebody share about a book multiple times, or if I'm seeing angel numbers multiple times, or different things like that, I'm like, oh, okay, there's something in this. So seeing 5 geckos within less than a week, I'm like, all right, what is the message in this? So I'm going to spend the next couple moments actually Googling what it means, because I have just had that many. I think for the benefit of my energy, I need to just take a second. I'm going to have some breakfast, sit down, ground myself, maybe listen to some grounding music or a meditation, and just clear the energy from the morning, because I do feel like it's been a little bit chaotic. And another thing that I see people doing is they have an experience like I did this morning, where it's like 9:30 in the morning and they've had a morning, then they let that play into their entire day. Whereas I'm going to be like, oh, okay, this morning like wasn't the best, I haven't shown up in the best way, but I'm going to take a second, ground myself, clear the energy, and then like step back into my day and come at it with a clearer, more centered, more enjoyable energy, and have a beautiful day. Join me for opening up my wellness centre, which is based in Stirling of Adelaide Hill. And that is a wrap on today and where I'm going to leave this vlog. Thank you so much for joining me the last few days. It's honestly been so beautiful. I know that like you guys haven't directly been there, but like I could feel the energy of the people that watch my videos, and it's just really nice to think that I'm creating something in my everyday life that you guys can sit back and watch and get inspired about a holistic, soulful-led kind of life. And hopefully through some of the topics that we discussed and also through some of the things that you saw, it will motivate you to lean into a more holistic and spiritual based way of living, because I honestly think that if I didn't have spirituality and self-development and these tools that I have learned along the way, I would have been a legit mess on the floor these past few months. And I'm just so grateful that I have so much trust in the universe and so much faith. And I know that this morning I wasn't really feeling my best or my most energetic self, partly because where I'm at in my cycle and partly because of just a lot of things that I'm navigating in my personal life. But throughout the day, I just got stuck into my work, which is like my passion and honestly lights up my soul. So that definitely helped. But also throughout the day, I just spent some time really reflecting on what a gift this time is for me. I haven't really been properly single in such a long time. I was in a 5-year relationship prior to the one that I just left, was single for about 18 months, but just constantly on the lookout for my next partner. So was constantly dating and setting my energy outwards. And then I met my most recent partner and we just clicked straight away and went straight into a long-term relationship that I feel like I haven't really had any time really for me or any quality time. And I think it's so easy, as I mentioned earlier today, to just fall back into those patterns of what's familiar. And for me, having somebody there is very familiar. So it's challenging, but also a very cool time for me to actually look at what I want in a partner, how I want to be as a partner, what I want in my life, and to actually dedicate this time to healing some of my past traumas and wounds, and also sinking the energy that I would give to a partner into myself and dating myself, and also dating my business, as like maybe cringy that sounds, but this business is honestly more than that to me. It is a way of living. It is such a beautiful opportunity to connect with so many incredible souls, and I have done so well. Like I really want to land in that energy more recently, that I have done so well in building this business from the ground up over the last 3 and a bit years. But now I'm so ready to elevate and expand, and I don't think that I would have the opportunity to do that or the capacity to do that if I was dating somebody at the moment. And I'm not saying that if my soul mate or my person who is like perfect for me comes into my life right now, that I'm like, no, focusing on the business. But I think I'm going to just fully practice patience and surrender and allow that person to come and find me instead of me searching for them. And I've only been single since December, so it's not been a really long time. So I'm not surprised that I have found myself leaning into patterns or old way of being that are comfortable and familiar to me, because almost 5 years is such a long time to have somebody there to then not have that person there to text or call or cuddle with. So it's been really, really interesting having so much more time and freedom and space. And today I have just taken some time while I've been working to just really process what a gift this time is, what an opportunity this time is for me to just focus on me and really lean into the things that I want to do. Okay, I didn't mean for this outro to be so in the feels, but can you tell that I've been working alone all day and just like navigating and feeling so much? So I'm sorry to kind of end it on a kind of in the feels sort of statement, but that is what I'm navigating right now. And I promised you guys and myself that through the podcast and through vlogs and YouTube this year, I'm going to be way more raw and vulnerable and show behind the scenes. And I know that throughout this vlog there was moments where I didn't want to share things, or I didn't share things, and I'm still learning my boundaries and what I want to share and what I want to create in this space. So stick with me. I'm really excited to watch back over these vlogs in the coming years and see how far I have come from my first vlog and now my second vlog, and hopefully there'll be many more moving forward. So thank you for joining me in a few days in my life as a spiritual based business and entrepreneur. It has been absolutely beautiful to be here with you guys, and I cannot wait to create more in this space. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and please like and subscribe and send me a DM on Instagram or comment below if you enjoyed this, so I know that vlogs are what you guys want to see. See you soon, my love.